Hey, Carlos. Um, I'm very interested and excited by what you posted here. How wonderful that you were able to make it to New York City. When we get to a new place, the big city, after being in New Haven or wherever you live, it really gets you excited and going visually. Um, I really like this series a lot. I like your black and white edits, and you've paid very close attention to the compositional elements that I've been trying to emphasize. So starting with this number one here, it looks like New York, and I like how you filled the frame, and this archway repeats, and then the focal point with the light in the center reflecting the building across the street. It's perfect. I wouldn't change anything. I like this one a lot too. Here's an example of full sun shooting that really works well because you're incorporating these shadows as design elements that are as valuable and interesting as the objects themselves. Okay, the shadows have a material presence, just like the concrete ball or the shape of this, I don't know what you would call this little wall here anyhow. Perfect composition too, this big shadow coming off of this pole outside of the frame anchors and balances what's going on over here. Nice editing, nothing is blown out, the shadows are open, and the highlights have texture and detail, so perfect. Another good example here in Grand Central Station of you taking the time to align your body and line up the major elements in the composition. So you sat, I guess you stood up opposite in Grand Central Station on the opposite staircase and framed left and right perfectly. This horizontal line is perfectly parallel to the edge of the frame. And again, the three arches that repeat. Very simply done, but beautiful. And that's what makes for strong photography. This is good too. These diagonal lines leading to this vanishing point. I like the highlight of the sunlight on the top edge of the boards set against the dark shadow. And also the shadow has texture and detail. Nothing is blown out except these very small specular highlights, and the shadows have texture. So very good editing again. If I had one little quibble about this, now we're back in New Haven and some Yale architectural steel work here, is to darken the outer edge. If this was shot with JPEG and this was blown out, then that couldn't be darkened. So here's a case that if you're shooting with a DSLR, to shoot in RAW, and then you can get control over these highlights. See the distance between these values, this black and this middle tone, and the sun on the stonework is greater than DSLR sensors can handle. So shooting with RAW gives you much more control over that. So if you've never done that and would like to learn more, just maybe make a comment or ask about it. St. Patrick's Cathedral, nicely done again. This incredible window here. And in the French Gothic architectural style that was in France circa 1250 or so. Again, nothing's blown out, nothing is blocked up, everything is handled nicely. Well, we have here a little bit of back to nature instead of structure, but I like it. I like the allium with their purple globes, and they're tall and impressive, set against the simplicity of that wall. And this in color too. Works fine for me. Doesn't need to be black and white. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, the repetition, 1, 2, 3. It's all about, simplicity, clarity, intention, description, Again, good editing. Blacks are open, whites are not blown out. This one I really like a lot because of the way you got right on top of this bench and centered it in the frame, and the way these edges of the boards are vertically parallel and go to this vanishing point, creating this strong triangular composition here. And the way this contrasts to the cobblestones and creating this unified composition that's just really good. And fine, yep. More descriptive detail. I'm not sure, that must be at Yale, I guess. So, really like this one, this one, this one, this one. This could use a little work on the edges. This is fine. This is pretty good. I love this, and I really like this one. So, that's it. Hang in there. Happy shooting, and keep going. Keep doing what you're doing.